Welcome back. It's been a day of appointments and errands here in the Bowers household, and I'm a little windblown. I'm hoping I can get this done without the errors and patches from yesterday. It looks like it's going through, it looks like it's working. So, yay. As soon as I get done recording, I need to go pick up little Miss Ripley the dog from the groomers, and maybe I can insert a picture of her here. She's such a sweet girl. Anyway, today we have a word, a birthday, an event, a song, and a quote. So grab your favorite cuppa. I coffeed on the go today. Settle in and let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for April 29th. April 29th is the 119th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 120th in leap years, with 246 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is mirage. Mirage is a noun, and it's an optical illusion caused by atmospheric conditions, especially the refraction of light by heated air. It often appears as a pool of water or a displaced image of distant objects. Figuratively, it also means something that seems real or possible but is actually an illusion or unattainable. For example, driving across the desert, we thought we saw water ahead, but it was just a mirage. Or, the promise of easy wealth turned out to be a mirage, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. Mirage comes to us from French, Latin before that, with meanings that include to look at, to be reflected, to wonder at, or to admire. First known use of the word mirage in English is in the early 1800s. Mirage. And with that, this is the birthday of one Thomas Gregory Jackson, born April 29, 1947 in Dayton, Ohio. We know him better, though, as singer-songwriter and musician Tommy James, best known as the frontman of the 1960s rock band Tommy James and the Shondells. He formed his first band, the Echoes, at the age of 12. The group evolved into Tom and the Tomatoes and eventually became the Shondells. They recorded a song called Hanky Panky in 1964, and it gained regional attention, netted them a recording contract, and became a national hit in 1966. Tommy James and the Shondells have enjoyed several hits, including Mony Mony, Crimson and Clover, I Think We're Alone Now, and Mirage. Tommy James and the Shondells parted company in 1970, and he pursued a solo career with hits like Dragging the Line and 3 Times in Love. He also wrote and produced the million-selling 1970 hit Tighter and Tighter for the group Alive and Kickin'. He's written an autobiography that looks interesting, and by golly, he's still working. Looks like he hosts a weekly radio show on Sirius XM Radio's 60s Gold channel called Getting Together with Tommy James. Happy birthday, Tommy James. The musical Hair premiered on Broadway on April 29, 1968. Described as a tribal love rock musical, I would agree with those who say it vividly captures the spirit of the 1960s counterculture. Hair broke theatrical conventions with its rock music score, racially diverse cast, and controversial scenes. Remember, this was in the 1960s. Hair had actually debuted off-Broadway the previous year, but once it made it to Broadway, Hair ran for 1,750 performances and has enjoyed revival performances and tours as recently as 2019. My favorite part about that whole thing, though, is some of the music that came out of it. Aquarius, Good Morning Starshine, Easy to Be Hard, which enjoyed a big hit by Three Dog Night, covered by others, and of course, Hair. Don't ever have to cut it 'cause it stops by itself. Sure enough, I'd say that hair became a cultural phenomenon. Now, between Tommy James and hair, I may have thrown you a few red herrings, but today we're going to talk about a Tommy James song. We talked about Crimson and Clover back on February 1st, and I'll leave a link to that episode for you. But today, let's talk about Mirage. The lyrics to Mirage are by Richie Cordell, who also wrote I Think We're Alone Now. And of course, everything's digital nowadays, but back in the 1960s, you had reel-to-reel tape recorders. And the story about Mirage is that one day in the studio, the producer accidentally put a master copy of I Think We're Alone Now backwards in the reel-to-reel player. Everyone present really liked the sound of the reverse chord progression, and thus the inspiration for the song Mirage. Mirage debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 on Tommy's 20th birthday, made its way to number 10 in the summer of 1967. Mirage by Tommy James and the Shondells. Link in the description. How about that? As we make our way through spring, and as I say that, I remember that in the southern hemisphere it's actually autumn, so please forgive me that. But today's quote is, "April hath put a spirit of youth in everything." William Shakespeare. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.